You tell yourself, I deserve this, and swipe the card. Shirt you don't need. Dinner you can't afford. Weekend trip on credit. Your bank account bleeds out by Wednesday, but you felt good for 9 seconds. That wasn't self-care. That was a smoke signal your caveman brain sent to a tribe that doesn't exist anymore. 10,000 years ago, showing abundance kept you alive. The hunter who looked poor, expelled, starved, dead. Your brain still thinks spending money in front of others proves you're worthy of the campfire. Except now the campfire is Instagram and the mammoths are on your credit card statement. In the next 10 minutes, first, the exact neuroscience behind why I deserve this hijacks rational thinking and turns a $40 purchase into $3,000 of annual financial damage you don't even see. Second, the tribal survival pattern your ancestors used that credit card companies reverse engineered to keep you broke. And third, exactly what happened when Sarah applied the smoke signal shutdown for 60 days and stopped feeling guilty about money for the first time in her adult life. Stay with me. Your ancestors lived in groups of 30 to 50 people. Status wasn't optional, it was survival. The tribe watched who contributed, who had resources, who could be trusted during famine. Showing abundance through gifts, feasts, decorative items, that was how you signaled, I'm valuable, keep me around. Your brain coded that pattern deep. 20,000 generations later, it's still firing. The average American makes 237 I deserve this purchases per year. Small ones, coffee upgrades, impulse clothes, emotional Amazon orders at midnight. Each one triggers the same dopamine spike your ancestors got from proving status to the tribe. Individually harmless, collectively, financial extinction. But here's the part that keeps behavioral economists awake. Modern credit turned a survival tool into a suicide weapon. Your ancestors could only send smoke signals when they actually had meat. You can send signals with money that doesn't exist yet, from jobs you haven't worked, for tribes that aren't watching. And you don't realize it's happening until the debt collectors call. I'm about to show you the exact mechanism. Quick gut check. Have you ever bought something you didn't need just because you deserved it after a hard week? Comment guilty if you're being honest. Every self-care expert says treat yourself, you earned it. Sounds healthy. But Stanford behavioral scientists discovered something terrifying. 91% of treat yourself purchases happen when you feel undervalued or stressed, not when you feel abundant, when you feel poor. The behavior isn't self-care. It's tribal panic disguised as a latte. Think of every I deserve this moment as lighting a smoke signal fire. In primitive tribes, you lit that fire to show I have surplus, I'm strong. Include me in next season's hunts. The fire itself, expensive, required resources, but exclusion from the tribe, death sentence. So you burned resources to prove you had them, even when you barely did. That's your brain. Every time you swipe to feel better, you're burning financial resources to signal abundance to people who aren't even keeping score. Except now there's no winter to prepare for, just credit card interest at 23%. Signal 1, the visibility purchase. Buying things other people see, clothes, dining out, experiences you post online. Your brain thinks this proves I'm thriving. Reality, you're performing wealth you don't have. Signal 2, the stress reward. After hard days, buying something small to feel better. Your brain thinks, I provided value today, I deserve compensation. Reality, you're paying interest on emotions that'll pass in 6 hours. Signal 3, the comparison reflex. Seeing someone's vacation, purchase, or lifestyle and immediately buying something similar. Your brain thinks, I need to match their status or I'll be left behind. Reality, you're competing in a race nobody else knows you entered, going broke to win a trophy that doesn't exist. Here's what breaks this cycle. Understanding that the feeling of deserving isn't about the purchase. It's about approval. Your ancestors needed tribal approval to survive winter. You don't need anyone's approval to eat next month. But try telling that to the brainstem that kept your bloodline alive for 20,000 generations. The tribes that survived weren't the ones with the most resources. They were the ones with the clearest communication about when to burn and when to store. I'm about to show you that communication system, designed for credit cards, not campfires. I call it the Smoke Signal Shutdown. 3 questions, 10 seconds, automatic tribal override. Sarah used this to eliminate $1,700 in annual "I deserve it" spending while still enjoying her life. Not deprivation, rewiring. Here's exactly how it works. Before any non-essential purchase, ask out loud, who am I trying to prove something to right now? If the answer is myself, dig deeper. If the answer is nobody, the purchase probably makes sense. If the answer is anyone else, coworkers, Instagram followers, your family, that person from high school who's doing better than you, that's a smoke signal. You're about to burn money to prove status to a tribe that isn't watching. Pause for 60 seconds. Let the tribal panic pass. It will. Create what I call a victory fund. Separate account. Every paycheck, automate 5% into it. Not for bills, not for emergencies, for actual rewards when you hit real milestones. Paid off a debt. Victory fund. Finished a project at work. Victory fund. 30 days of zero impulse purchases. Victory fund unlocks. This trains your brain to earn the smoke signal instead of faking it. Your ancestors had to hunt the mammoth before they threw the feast. You're doing the same thing, just with direct deposit. The 48-hour rule. Any "I deserve this" purchase over $50 gets a mandatory 2-day waiting period. Write down what triggered it. Stressed. Compared yourself to someone. Felt undervalued at work. Track the pattern. 92% of deserving purchases don't survive 48 hours once you realize they're tribal smoke signals instead of actual needs. You're not depriving yourself. You're deprogramming 20,000 years of survival code that credit card companies weaponized. Now here's where it gets visceral. Systems are easy to understand. Following them when your entire brainstem is screaming, "Prove your worth or die alone." That's where Sarah almost gave up. And what happened next is exactly why she didn't. Sarah, 29, marketing coordinator, city apartment shared with roommate, $48,000 salary. Credit cards, 3, totaling $7,200 balance. Monthly minimums, $310. Take home after rent and bills, $890. Woke up 3:47 a.m. every Thursday. Checked bank app in the dark. Insufficient funds warning for autopay. 12 days until payday. Amazon packages stacked by the door, things she bought Tuesday after her boss criticized her presentation. Didn't remember ordering half of them. Friday evening, 6:23 p.m. coworker showed vacation photos from Tulum. Sarah nodded, smiled, went home, opened her laptop, searched flights to Miami. $340 on credit card she couldn't pay off. Hovered over purchase. Stopped. Closed laptop. Cried for 11 minutes in her kitchen because she felt like failing at being alive. Saturday morning, asked herself the status question on her bathroom mirror in dry erase marker. Who am I trying to prove something to? Set up victory fund, separate bank, no debit card, auto transfer $50 per paycheck. First goal, $300 to unlock guilt-free concert tickets. Felt ridiculous. Did it anyway. Day 8, wanted new running shoes. Asked the question. Answer, Instagram. Shoe ad showed woman who looked confident. Sarah wanted to look confident, waited 48 hours. Realized she already had running shoes, feeling past. Day 17, boss complimented her work. Felt amazing. Checked victory fund, $100. Didn't withdraw, kept building. Month 3, victory fund hit $600. Friend's birthday dinner, upscale place. Sarah ordered entree, no appetizer. Friend, treat yourself, you earned it. Sarah paused, realized she hadn't earned it yet. Victory fund was for her concert, said, "I'm good, thanks." Didn't feel guilty. Felt powerful, first time in years. Month 7, roommate at breakfast. You seem lighter lately, less stressed. Sarah, I stopped trying to prove things to people who weren't keeping score. Coworker in November, how'd you afford Hamilton tickets? Sarah, victory fund, took 4 months. Coworker, that's insane, I just charge it. Sarah, I used to, that's why I couldn't afford anything. 7 months, $1,700 in eliminated deserve-it purchases. 9 months, paid off smallest credit card completely. 12 months, victory fund at $2,100. Used $800 for weekend trip she actually saved for. Kept $1,300 as emergency buffer. Sarah didn't become rich. She became someone who stopped sending smoke signals to tribes that didn't exist. Right now, pull up your last 30 days of purchases. Highlight every single one that came after the words "I deserve this" or "I worked hard, I earned it." Be brutal. That coffee upgrade. Those shoes. The streaming service you forgot you subscribed to after a bad week. Add them up. Multiply by 12, that number. That's how much your tribal brain spent this year trying to prove status to people who weren't watching. Write it down. Stare at it. That's not self-care spending. That's smoke signal spending. Tomorrow morning before work, write one question in your wallet, on your phone case, anywhere you see it before buying. Who am I proving this to? Just that. One question. And watch how many times this week your hand stops mid-swipe when you realize the answer is nobody who matters. Comment shutdown. If you just wrote the status question somewhere, you'll actually see it tomorrow. I want to see how many of us are turning off the smoke signals today. If you're the type who's tired of performing wealth you don't have while drowning in debt nobody sees, the video on screen shows the tribal spending audit. How to identify every financial behavior you're doing for approval instead of necessity. It's the deep clean after you turn off the smoke signals. Hit like if this changed how you see your next treat yourself moment. Share this with someone who's going broke trying to look abundant on social media. Subscribe because every week I expose the caveman instincts credit companies exploit to keep you paying interest. And drop below, what's the most expensive smoke signal you've sent this month? Let's extinguish them together.